session. Is Alder Burnett in the house?
Yes, sir. Well, my house, not the house.
Alder Gerlach?
I'm here.
Vice Chair Alder Weary?
You betcha.
And the chair is speaking, so no matter anybody says, Alder Scannell is present. I'll take a motion to approve our agenda.
So moved.
Does anybody want to move any items around on that?
There aren't any.
Motion to approve by Alder Burnett,
Second.
seconded by Alder Gerlach. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, we have an agenda. And I'll wait. I don't want to get too far ahead.
We're good to go.
Okay. I'll take a motion to approve our minutes from our last meeting.
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Alder Weary,
Second.
seconded by Alder Burnett. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we're good with our minutes. And
Yes, we're good.
on to regular consideration with possible action on the purchase of the Woods Golf Course Greenway. We do have language for us to go into closed session. Do we need to do that right away, or do we want to discuss anything beforehand?
I would like to give a brief 5-minute presentation on kind of the background on this, and then I would recommend going into closed session at that point. And just so you know, it does look like there is a representative here from the developer. If you have specific questions on the development itself or the greenway, I would just request that if you do open it up to the public for comments, that we don't discuss negotiations or the price with the representative. We do that part in closed session. So that being said, I'll just give you a brief background. So a developer recently acquired the back 9 holes of the Woods Golf Course on the east side of Green Bay. And as you're aware, this property is currently managed as a golf course. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that development, as this has gone to Plan Commission and City Council to talk about zoning issues. And for this property, the south branch of Baird's Creek runs right through the middle of the property. So the developer is proposing to create a 12.1 acre greenway that runs right through the middle of the development. Right where the creek is located. So this greenway is considered unbuildable property. So there's not a lot of value from a development end of things because they can't put houses on that property. And then, so the area to the west of the proposed greenway will be converted to single-family residential, and the area to the east of the proposed greenway would be developed as a condo development. These discussions were initiated by the developer, and they approached us and asked if we were interested in acquiring the greenway portion of the project. If there is no interest, then they would likely redesign the CSM to make the backyards longer. So basically, they would run the residential lots all the way to the creek if we decide not to purchase that property. In this situation, this is a property that the Parks Department would be interested in converting it to a public greenway. So the greenway, or the proposed greenway, is shown on both the Green Bay Parks Recreation and Open Space plan, along with the city's smart growth plan, and it's shown as designated greenway in both plans. So if we acquired it, the plan would be to connect this property to the Baird Creek Greenway to the north. So in order to do that, we would have to acquire a few parcels to the north of wooded land to make that connection, but there really isn't that many parcels to the north. And we would do that at a later date. That's not part of the discussion today. We did reach out to the Bear Creek Preservation Foundation because the plan is to connect this to the Greenway to see if there was any interest in their end or any support on their end of this acquisition. And yes, their group is excited about this acquisition, and they're very supportive of the city moving forward with acquisition if we decide to go that route. So as previously mentioned, this area is maintained as a golf course right now. There's an existing golf cart trail that runs through the property, running north and south in the greenway. And so if this becomes greenway, our plans would be to remove all of the turf grass where the golf holes are and plant it with prairie plants. And then the existing trail would then become a public walkway that is open to the public, free of charge, running right through the new prairie that would be planted. And then if we do acquire it, the funding for this prairie planting would likely come from the parkland fees that the developer would have to pay in order to develop this property as a subdivision. Now, my understanding is the developer did have one public input session on this project. I was not at that meeting, but the planning department was. And I was told that there were obviously questions about the residential end of the development. But as it relates to the greenway itself, it seemed like the public was very supportive of that. And there really was not a lot of questions or concerns with turning this portion into a public greenway. And then obviously this has gone to Plan Commission and City Council where the public could comment on the development as a whole. And I don't recall any feedback as it relates to the greenway in the city public comments. So, I mean, at this point, I'll leave it up to you if you have questions for me or if you want to open the floor to the representative for the developer. You're muted.
Alder Gerlach, did you have, I'm sorry. Alder
I just wanted to affirm what the director was saying, that I've been to all the meetings on this because this is my district, and the greenway is not a problem at all. It's the other parts that I'm not as happy about, but the greenway, no one's shown any concern about that at all, as Director Ditch just said.
Any other comments for me?
No, I'm good. Anyone else?
I would move to open the floor.
Motion to open the floor by Alder Gerlach,
Second.
second by Alder Brunette Weary. Alder Brunette. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? If there's someone here to speak on this, please state your name and address. And address the chair.
Rick Mock for Engineering. We're representing the developer. So I'm just here to answer any questions you might have. Director Ditch, did a very nice job of kind of summarizing how we've come to where we are today.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. If I
Okay,
could. Thanks.
before you begin, Alder Weary, could you just state your address then? I don't believe you stated your address.
Oh, 2260 Soul Shredder Court, Green Bay.
It's all yours, Alder Weary.
920 Spence Street, Chris Weary. Oh, you didn't mean me. Oh, okay. Sorry, Randy. Thanks, Joel, Mr. Erfurt. The golf course itself is going to be gone. Is there any of it going to be left? It's all going to be converted to housing here?
No, the front nine is still.
Front nine is, okay.
Front nine is still. I think there's actually going to be 11 or 13 holes that they'll have. But it's the front nine is still going to operate as a golf course with the the clubhouse.
Okay, perfect. What's your time frame on this? What are you looking at? When are you starting and when do you want to be finished?
I guess ideally we'd try to put shovels in the ground yet this fall, but we have a couple of steps to do with the planning yet. We've got approved Monday evening at zoning. So that's got to go to the council for the couple of readings. And then we're meeting with the DPW staff next week to talk particulars on infrastructure design and timing and so forth. But ideally fall, but there's a lot of stars really got to kind of align for us to probably get there at that point.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Sure.
Alder Gerlach?
I'd just like to know from Mr. Erfurt, when was this property purchased? That's the first question.
I believe it was, I'm trying to think. I think it was in fall. It's been going for, been in discussion for a while. We did a bunch of due diligence, but I believe they signed all the paperwork in fall.
Okay, and was it always intended to become housing?
Yes. In fact,
that was always clear?
Yes, in fact, if in Alderdorf, I can back me up on, she was at the meeting. Really the west side, which is where a lot of the concerns are coming from, the west side of the creek, there was 2 roads stubbed. The city had an official map always showing that. So all the steps we've taken so far was to amend the city map, to amend the comprehensive plan, and now we're doing the rezoning. But the first 2 steps, we weren't even doing the west side where all the concerns were, because the city had that planned out. Actually, when the golf course went in, there was a couple of streets, and probably actually a couple of the people that were the most vocal in their concerns are on a corner lot where the street just physically stops. There's not even a turnaround. So this has been planned since I think the golf course went in.
Okay, good, thanks.
Sure.
Alder Burnett, anything? I'm good too. So thank you very much. Anything you care to add then, or before we close the floor?
No, I don't think so. I told Director Ditch I would be available for questions beforehand, and if you guys are going to go into closed session, I was probably going to sneak out if that's okay.
I would think so. I don't know if there'd be any discussion afterwards that we'd need you for. I don't know if Director Ditch, gonna make you an alder one of these days, Alder, has any opinion on that.
I think that if you do have questions, I can reach out to Joel and get your questions answered before city council.
Okay. Yep, that'd be fine then. All right, then I'll take a motion to close the floor.
So moved.
Second,
Motion by Alder Weary, seconded by Alder Gerlach. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, the floor is now closed. Take a motion to go into closed session.
move to go into closed session. It was your turn.
I'll do it. That's fine. I'll make a motion to close session.
I did it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so a motion by Alder Gerlach, seconded by Alder Weary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, if Alder Gerlach would care to read the language.
Just a minute, I have to go back. I was looking at the diagram of the golf course. I'm moving back. Okay. The committee may convene in closed session pursuant to sections 19.85 sub 1E Wisconsin statutes for purpose of deliberating or negotiating the sale of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business as necessary for competitive or bargaining reasons. The committee will thereafter reconvene in open session pursuant to section 19.85 sub 2 Wisconsin statutes to take action on items discussed in closed session, if appropriate, and to consider the remainder of the agenda.
Okay, so we are in closed session now. So what I will do is
People present.
hold on a second, please. James, did you pause it? Okay, so I think we're back. Can you see me now and hear me?
I can see you and hear you.
Okay,
We
so-
also see Mr. Erfurth.
So what I'll do now is I will put everyone in the waiting room except for the park committee. So give me a second to do that.
So Jesse's moving to Alabama, huh?
Really?
Okay. Oh,
Alabama bound?
he was so excited that he kicked himself out.
He already left.
I didn't think he was going to go that quickly.
Wow, I guess he's gone.
I guess
All right.
I accidentally hit him. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on a
There
second,
you
because
go.
I accidentally got rid of all
Here
the
now.
person
You're
Dorf,
leaving
too.
right now, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, so I let her back in. Just give me a second.
Thank you.
Yep.
You have one more you have to take out.
Lindsay, I'll put you in the waiting room for now, and if there's any legal questions that come up, I will allow you in the meeting. Is that okay?
That's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever's easier.
Okay.
I'm technically allowed to be in here if it's just easier for me to know what the conversation is in case you need a legal opinion. But
That's fine.
I guess I defer to Alder Scannell. He's the chair.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Alder Weary's gone.
What?
Alder Weary is gone.
I just put him back. For some reason, my screen keeps switching when I'm changing people into the waiting room.
Should have sent him to Alabama.
Well, I think it'd probably be good to keep
Okay.
Attorney Mather with us. So let's begin.
Okay, so
I just-
we should be all set here.
I
So,
won't participate in the discussion unless you need me.
Okay.
yeah, so pause it now.
Happened to me before when I was running an ethics meeting and I didn't fix it,
Okay,
so I
so-
can't help you.
So what I have to do is I have to just call in from my phone, I guess, and do it that way. So just give me a second. For some reason, it gets lost in the shuffle here. So just give me a second.
Okay.
So pause it again, James. Recording again. So now we should make a motion to go back into open session.
I'll take a motion to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alder Weary, seconded by Alder Gerlach. Go into open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are now in our open session. I'll take a motion for staff to proceed as directed.
Oh, so moved.
Moved by Alder Gerlach,
Second.
seconded by Alder Weary. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, there we go. That passes unanimously. Okay, we're ready for informational. Number 1, staff update on the fat tire biking at Hennister Park.
And I will defer this to James to give you an update.
All right, can you all hear me?
Yeah, and welcome back.
Thanks. Sorry about that was all me, the mastermind behind whatever that was. But so the update on Hennister Park, we have had some pretty wet weather over the last month. So we've had some of our sections that have gotten really muddy closed down, and we put signage up accordingly. Recently, we've had a couple opportunities where people have gotten out and got some fat tire biking in, and overall, we've had a lot less numbers of bikers utilizing the park over the last month. And we also held our second focus group meeting on this past Monday night, the 12th, where we talked about essentially a more comprehensive look at other potential areas to expand trail usage, and looked at the bigger picture of the west side and went over maps for each of the parks on the west side and really talked through with the focus group if there was any opportunities to expand some, in particular, fat tire biking opportunities on the west side. So we came up with some short-term options to have our staff take a look at, and we also came up with some long-term options to possibly collaborate with other organizations, and also look at some other land that the city does own to possibly expand some trails in the future. And then with that, I would say the next question I guess I have for the group, and in particular probably Alder Burnett, is just do you want me to continue to every single park committee meeting give an update from here on out? Otherwise, we are getting into that the next month. We said the trial basis would last until May 15th through this process. So just want a little feedback on how much, because from here till May 15th, there's nothing scheduled currently in terms of, focus groups or anything like that.
Alder Burnett?
Yeah, Chairman, I hate to, ask you to do this to keep it on that meeting that James just mentioned. I mentioned to that focus group that we would have it as a standing agenda item. So I just don't want to go back on my word to that group. So, like a 5-minute little update. I just don't want to, drag these meetings longer than they need to be, but I just don't want to go back on my word. So with your discretion, I'd like to keep it on as a standing agenda item for now.
I think And if staff should have nothing to report, then they can just say there's nothing to report or whatever. We can keep it on, I think. I don't think.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Move to receive and place
Oh,
on
sorry,
file.
Lynn, unless you have something.
I have a question for James, if I may.
Oh, okay.
Could you just remind us who's on that focus group, please?
Well, we have a representative from each of the different users of the, so we have silent sports representatives, which essentially comes down to fat tire biking for the most part, and also cross country skiing. And they also have some, trail users that do a lot of hiking and walking in the park. We have a couple people that are immediately adjacent to the park, and then a couple that are a little more of the neighborhood, so within like a half mile or a mile of the park. We also had the neighborhood association president in the area at this last meeting, and then we also had a more, I will call it an area or a more comprehensive person that actually works a lot with different municipalities and different organizations in the area on trails and how everything's connected. So we had kind of an at-large member as well. So there's about, I would say, 10 people in that focus group from the various users and the neighborhood. Along with Alder Burnett, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
And if I could just quickly add that I've been forwarding information to the Oneida intergovernmental person, even though it's a city park, it's obviously on the reservation. So I'm engaged with them as well, sharing information as necessary. So.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Motion to receive and place on file by Alder Weary. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. Thank you.
Second by Alder Brunette. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's received and placed on file. On to item 2. James, we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Staff update on lifeguard recruiting efforts.
So on average, the Parks Department employs over 500 seasonal staff throughout the Parks Department, and this includes not only lifeguards, but other positions at the pools, park maintenance, Bay Beach staff, wildlife sanctuary staff, summer playground leaders, and then other positions throughout the department. Many other city departments also employ seasonal positions. And because the Parks Department and the city as a whole employ so many seasonal employees, the city as a whole is having a difficult time filling all of our summer seasonal positions. This isn't just an issue that is subject to the lifeguards only. It's kind of across the board. The entire city's having problems filling all of the positions. So, and we're finding it more and more difficult every year to recruit new employees. And this really came to a head last year due to COVID concerns. So if you recall, last year we were only able to operate one pool, and the summer park program was literally cut in half because we just couldn't find the staff who wanted to work for the city. So there was a shortage of summer staff. This year we're having very similar results in our recruiting efforts so far. We're really not sure of the reasons this is occurring, but we do feel that a large part of the problem is really the starting wage for all part-time positions at local businesses have drastically increased over the last year. So it's hard to recruit employees to work for the city if they can make more money working somewhere else. And, that's just the reality of where it is. And I'm sure you've noticed that yourselves when you see signs on the road saying, starting pay here or there is $12, $13, $14 an hour, and we just don't compete with those prices throughout our whole seasonal pay plan. So every year, the Human Resources Department does update the hourly rate pay plan for all seasonal employees, and our yearly budgets are set according to that pay plan. So I've already had discussions with the Human Resources Department for the need to evaluate the seasonal pay plan for next year's budget, and they are in 100% agreement because other departments are having the same problems we're having. The reason that we're talking specifically about lifeguards in this agenda item is because the question came up from Alderman Weary and Alderman Burnett at the last Parks Committee as far as how the lifeguard hiring process was going this year. And so we just thought we'd give you a quick update on how we are dealing with that and how we're promoting and recruiting lifeguards. So from here, I'll pass it on to Ann Moeller to take the discussion from here. If you don't know Ann, she runs all of our pools and works for the Recreation Division of the Parks Department. So Ann will give you a summary of where we're at with things.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yes, so we are in a bit of a conundrum, I guess would be a good word to use. So in order to operate our three successfully this summer and to operate at full staff 7 days a week, we do need approximately 70 lifeguards on staff to make that operation run. Where we stand is I have 21 lifeguards who are returning this year. Those are returning guards. So we are facing the biggest turnover rate I have had in almost 15 years here with the city. So we need to hire about 49 lifeguards before we open on June 12th. That's going to take a bit of an undertaking. I guess luckily saw the writing on the wall, mainly because of the fact that we only had one facility open last year. And the way the lifeguarding position is unique is that we do require, obviously, a lifeguard certification if you work as a lifeguard. And anyone who worked previous to last summer, so 2019 and prior, there's a very good chance most of their certifications have lapsed since the time they have worked for us. So also, there have been no opportunities for people to get either certified or recertified because pools just haven't been open. Our department doesn't have an indoor pool, so we couldn't even run any recertification courses if we wanted to during this time. So once the certification is lapsed, those folks would have to retake the entire 25 lifeguard certification course. So most of those people have gone and moved on to other jobs and opportunities. So that puts us in a situation where I have been trying to lay that ground on, knowing that this was a possibility. So we have a pretty robust marketing plan using all of our social and traditional media outlets. Have had actually decent press coverage this week. I've done some interviews with Channel 2, Channel 5, and WTAQ radio a couple weeks ago, and we haven't even sent out a press release yet on it. So the word is spreading. So we're getting some media coverage. We're going to be doing some videos, a lot of different things media-wise to spread the word that we are hiring. With that, we also want to inform the public that you don't need to have that certification in order to apply. So if anyone is interested in lifeguarding, but they don't have the certification, they can still apply. They'll go through the interview process. If they pass the interview, then we do an in-water skills test. If they pass that, they will be invited to take a lifeguard training course free of charge. So that's about a $200 value that we are providing up front. So I think that's the biggest kind of education piece that we're trying to spread, that you don't have to be looking for that certification course prior to applying, and that we will do that in-house. We're offering free uniforms, and our shirts and whistles and hip packs will all be included in the new hire package, and food discounts. We're looking at all the different incentives that we can to really encourage anyone to apply for the lifeguarding position. With that, we are intending to hire our new lifeguards. The lifeguards are classified in the pay grade C of our pay plan, with baby trade operators, playground leaders, some other instructors. Instead of bringing our new lifeguards in at step 1, we intend to bring them in at step 3. So a starting lifeguard will make $12.19 an hour. And then all of our returning lifeguards, anyone who's been here at least 1 year, will be bumped up to step 4 for folks to return. So they'll be paid at $12.60 an hour, just to help with that recruitment process and be competitive with some of those outside jobs that we are competing with.
And then I guess with that change to the pay rate, that would have a total impact on our budget for the pools of $5,466 would be our anticipated impact. We feel that we can cover those additional expenses just in our pool budget because we do account for a certain number of rain days in our budget. And so just using that savings there, we feel that we can definitely absorb the offset of the additional expenses. So I guess in a nutshell, with Ann, we're being very proactive and doing whatever we can, and we're paying kind of the highest that we can pay within the fee structure that's currently set up for this year's budget.
Any questions, comments? Alder Dorf.
I have a comment. So back in the day when I was a parkie, the lifeguards always got paid more than we did. And their job was tougher than our jobs, where we were the playground supervisors and we were the parkies, but the lifeguards did get paid more. And so I think that's a really good idea. I also wonder, what does the Y pay lifeguards? And because we're probably competing with the Y as well. Do we know that?
We do pay, I don't know the exact wage. Historically, we have always paid more than the Y.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Because we want to get the lifeguards.
I do have about 50 other communities around this and as to what they pay. So we have a pretty good an idea of what lifeguards are being paid at the municipal level throughout the state.
Great. Thanks.
And then I guess the only thing I wanted to add to that is, when it comes time to opening this facility and our other facilities like Bay Beach Amusement Park and our Parky program, we're just going to have to see how many employees we have, and we'll open as many pools and playground programs and rides at Bay Beach that we can offer with the staffing we have. And that's how we handled it last year. We only had enough lifeguards to open one pool. And obviously that's not our intent this year. We're doing whatever we can to get as many lifeguards as possible. But if we do hit a shortfall when it comes time to open, we'll have to make some tough decisions about which pools are open and which ones are not. And hopefully it won't come to that, but it may.
And I would like to add that we do have to take that training into consideration as well, because in all reality, we won't have a pool, swimmable and the weather swimmable until mid-May. And so if we do have an influx of applicants who are not certified, we have to wait and get them in the pool. And we also can't do a large certification course because we still should be following some COVID protocols, because it is very high contact with that training, because we're towing people. So we have to be mindful of that. So there's going to be a bit of a process to get everybody trained in time. So we might be close to that number, but we just have to, the potential is there could be a delay just because we're trying to train as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep
up the good work. I saw it on the news tonight, actually, and so I guess there's not much you can do. Just I'm glad we increased the wage and see if we can just keep promoting it and pushing it. And Duane's doesn't need to open, so well, as long as Colburn and Fisk are open, I think everybody's happy. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, maybe most people are happy.
Anything else from anyone?
I think going into further years, it's important to evaluate. I'm pretty frugal on the 60. Even to me, it seems like low. That's not a lot of money, for a lifeguard. As Alder Dorf said, that's like a professional position. Not that the other park positions aren't, but this is a skill that's in high demand. So,
Okay.
thank you. That's all.
Yep. Thank you, Ann. I'll take a motion to receive and place on file.
So
Motion to
moved.
receive and place on file.
Second.
Motion by Alder Weary, seconded by Alder Burnett. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's receive it and place it on file. The director's report.
I just have a couple things to add that weren't in the director's report. So one is East River Optimus Park. If you haven't been to that park lately, it's completely different than it was 2 years ago. We did some major renovations to that park. And the Optimus group recently donated a concession stand / restroom building on the property. That building is in the final stages of completion. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll be opening that up to the public. And there really was very little cost to the city to build that building due to the great donation from the Optimus Club. So also Bay Beach will open on weekends starting May 1st. So put that on your calendar and make a trip out there if you want. And then on April 7th, we did start opening up the sanctuary more than we've had it open in the past due to COVID. So on April 7th, we opened the bathrooms up, and the Woodland building is now open to the public, whereas before all of the buildings were closed. And starting on May 1st, we're going to switch to summer hours at the Wildlife Sanctuary. And then at that time, we will open up all of the buildings, and nearly all of the attractions will open up to the public starting May 1st. So we're kind of trying to get back to normal at the Wildlife Sanctuary and provide opportunities that we weren't able to provide last year. So we're excited about that. So that's really all I had to add, other than what's in the committee report, the director's report already.
Questions or comments from anyone? Alder Gerlach?
I have a few questions, please. As far as the East River Trail flooding collaboration, it says that you met with staff and local municipalities on April 8th to discuss the flooding issues. Is there anything you can tell us anything that came out of that meeting, or what's the next step?
Yeah, so we met with several agencies. So Brown County was there, and these were all the park directors were in attendance. So it was Brown County Parks Director, Alloway Park Director, and Ledgeview Park Director were all in the meeting. A couple other communities just couldn't make it at that time. And what we're finding is they're having similar issues that we are on their trail system along the East River. There is some desire to collaborate on, working with the DNR to see what they'll allow us to do and not allow us to do as far as trying to fix these areas, and maybe collaborate on potential grants in the future to help fund these engineering studies that would need to be done. So it was just kind of an initial kickoff meeting, and I know Alder Galvin was the one that brought this request forward. He also participated in that meeting also, so it was valuable to get his comment and input.
Okay, thank you. And just a comment, we do need to make sure we send our best wishes to Mark Freeberg on his retirement Friday after 35 years of service. Mm-hmm. And another question. Well, I want to know, for setting up for the election, somebody told me it's parks people that set up all those polling places. Is that right?
I think it's a combination of DPW and parks.
Well, I would just like to say that I think it's incredible. I just thought it's incredible that somebody gets everything in the right place and you walk in and everything's where it's supposed to be. So whoever did it, thank you so much.
I will pass that on to the people that helped.
Okay. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, certainly, again, Mr. Freeberg, appreciate all your work, and hope you have is retirement or moving on to something else?
He's retiring.
Retiring, well,
Yep.
Enjoy.
He has a lot of plans, so he's excited about it.
He's going to branch out into something else. As he leaves us.
Emails linden trees down.
Okay, a motion to receive and place on file.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
Okay, all, motion by Alder, second by Alder Burnett, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's received and placed on file. Our next Parks meeting is April 28th, 2021. Take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Alder Gerlach, second by Alder Weary, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, great job, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alder Weary, what are our instructions?
Well, James there right now, or is
Yes,
Mr. Burnett?
yeah, Assistant Director Burnett is here right
Okay.
now.
Does he need 5
He'll get
minutes?
set up. 5 minutes, he's saying will work for him.
All right, let's go 6:05.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.